Comforting and easy sweet potato chickpea curry. Hi friends, welcome to Cooking Live with Lala. I'm Lala. I'm a home cook, professional baker, and plant-based eater. Whether you are also plant-based or just trying to get more plants into your diet, this show is for you. Let's get started. So a lot of us really love curry, don't we? But it feels kind of overwhelming and like too much. There's 20 different seasonings involved. You have to cook it all day. It's never going to be as good as the local takeout place. Am I right? Let me tell you, this recipe is actually easy. It's easy. It's simple. I think it only uses like 5 seasonings. And we're going to try to get this done in 20 minutes today. So I am starting with garlic today. This is a head of garlic. That's correct. An entire head of garlic. However, if you are sensitive to garlic or just don't like it, I suppose you could probably leave it out or use the amount that you like. One thing that I always want my recipes to do is to be easy and to be easily manipulated or changed to your taste. So let's get these chopped up and we're going to throw them in our pan. So I've already peeled these because that would have taken so much time. Let's give these guys a little chop. I'm going to get all these little brown spots off. It seems like lately the garlic I've been buying just isn't great. A lot of it doesn't seem great. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I do have garlic growing this year, so hopefully we will be lucky with a lot of fresh garlic from the garden, but we're going to see. But this is like an ultimate recipe for me because I love garlic so much. And I get to use like a whole head. There's not very many recipes that require a whole head of garlic. And this recipe is so flavorful. It's just crazy, crazy good. And, you know, it's hard to believe it's a curry when it's this simple. All right, I'm just going to give this a quick rough chop. Hello, Sydney. Hi, Bun Bun. Hi, Lily. Nice to see you guys today. I heard that your baby got fat. That's what we want, right? Don't we all want fat babies? I love fat babies. You know, you guys cut your garlic to the size that makes you comfortable and happy. This is going to cook for a while, so a lot of it will break down. It's not going to cook for a while. It's going to cook for a little bit, honestly. We're going to try to have this done in 20 minutes, so. I still have some big chunks in here. Like I always say, I don't mind getting a big piece of garlic. I really love a lot of flavor. But you know, some people are more sensitive and should do what works for you. All right, let's get this stuff cooking. I'm going to turn my heat on medium-high. And I've just got some coconut oil here that I'm going to use. You could use a different oil of your choice or no oil at all, whichever you'd rather. I'm going to throw my garlic in. Jeff, hi Jeff. It's about to smell so good over there with that garlic cooking. Yeah, it really, really is. So good. This is a super easy recipe. If you're a beginner cook, you can do this recipe, I promise. So I had a fun incident happen the other night. I was making granola And my oven decided to catch on fire, the element that was inside, just burning away. That was fun. So we got a new element, and it seems maybe it's fine. I'm not sure if it's cooking at the right temperature. I really need to temp it. It seems a little cool. Sydney says, my husband should pay attention. He's a beginner cook. Yeah, Jeff, you could totally do this recipe. Not only could you, but you should. Definitely. It's so easy, and you probably have all of these ingredients at your house. It's pretty simple. Coriander, turmeric. It's got some cayenne in, which could be left out for anyone who's sensitive to heat. Obviously, it's got a lot of garlic. Super, super easy recipe. Oh my God, was it a big fire? The fire never left the oven. That's important. Okay, I'm starting to smell this garlic, guys. I really did kind of leave my garlic in kind of big pieces, but you see that? I could have done a better job. I'm not going to be too worried about it. It's going to be good. It's starting to sizzle now. Oh, I do have one announcement. I am going to be featured in a feature by the Meatless Movement. They're an organization that promotes, people eating less meat, which I fit right in with. So that's very exciting. They're a really great professional organization. I think they're UK based. So that's exciting. I got some new photos taken for that. Thank you very much, photographer Sydney. Where's my usual necklace? Okay, it's not broken. I will tell you about it later. It was like boom. I mean, I had to wake everybody up at like midnight. I've always really been a person who likes to stay up late. I'm really a night owl. So I was cooking at like 11:30 at night. That's not unusual for me. And, everybody's in bed, so I get to have, this place to myself and just do my own thing. And next thing you know, I heard like a weird crackling sound. I was like, what is that? And I ran in here and opened the oven, and the element was on fire. Oh my God. It was a little bit terrifying. But it's fine. Nobody died. Nothing caught on fire outside the oven. I pulled out the oven by myself and unplugged it. That was also fun. All right, our garlic is toasting. The one thing you don't want to do is burn your garlic. Actually, don't burn your garlic. It's bitter. It doesn't taste good. Just don't burn your garlic. Okay. So into this, I'm going to turn this temp down a little bit because you know how this thing is. It cooks too fast. I have got coriander and cumin in here. I'm going to throw that in and let that get toasted for a second. All right, and I just bought some crushed tomatoes. This is just crushed tomatoes, nothing else. That's going to go in. This sucker down, man. Okay. So we're going to go in with about 2 inches or tablespoons of ginger. I always have fresh ginger on hand. As a matter of fact, I throw fresh ginger into my smoothie. Just a personal story is that ginger's been really helpful in healing my stomach. I have a lot of stomach problems since I went celiac, and it's actually been really helpful. So I'm just going to give this a quick peel while my tomatoes cook away. This thing is crazy. I've got it like on low, and it's just like cooking so fast, so hard, so hot. a spoon method for peeling ginger. I need to really learn about that. Spoon method. If you know how to do it, let me know in the comments. This guy is fibrous, man. He doesn't want to peel at all. Okay. I've tried a lot of different methods for chopping my garlic, not garlic, but ginger, mincing my ginger and stuff. What I find really works is just to grate it. Some people do not like a some people do not like a big bite of ginger in their mouth. It can be overwhelming. I actually like it a lot because I'm used to it, but not everybody wants that. And you could replace this with ginger powder, but honestly, it's never going to be as good with anything other than the fresh ginger. All right, some of this is fibrous. I'm going to remove the fibrous parts, and I'm going to put the rest of it in. All right, we're now going in with some turmeric, salt, and cayenne. And if you're sensitive to cayenne, this is just, I think my recipe is already linked below. And this just calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne. Now, that gives it a pretty good medium heat, in my opinion. But you know, we all taste heat differently. If you're sensitive, you could completely leave it out, or you could put like 1/8 of a teaspoon. And if you really like a lot of heat, double it if you want to, whatever. And I had a little bit of salt in here. All right, so when I created this recipe, I used 2 medium sweet potatoes that I cubed into about 1-inch pieces. This is smaller than 1 inch. But what I looked for, I'm dropping stuff. I went out and I looked for a frozen cooked chopped sweet potato because I wanted to see if we could make this quicker than usual. So when I used 2 fresh sweet potatoes, it took about 40 minutes for me to cook them to be soft. So these sweet potatoes have already been cooked. So I'm gonna throw that on. So that should actually cook up really fast. If you don't want to buy frozen sweet potatoes, but you still want it to happen quickly, you could literally microwave or bake a couple of sweet potatoes and then cut them into cubes without this. I would do it without the skin. The skin would be weird on this. But you do you. So I looked it up, and 2 medium sweet potatoes are about 1.5 to about 1.25 cubed sweet potatoes. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So use 2 medium or a bag, or just 1.5 to 1 3/4 cup already cubed and cooked. Hope that's not confusing. You need a better stovetop. Sponsors anybody? What is that, a train? Okay. You cook a lot with a coated cast iron pan. Is that the pan you would recommend, or is my regular fry pan still okay? So I would cook with any pan that is going to hold this dish. I do cook a lot with this, mainly because in the show I want it to be easy for you guys to see. But if I was doing this just on my own, I might just use like a small pasta pot would just be fine. You just have to be careful with those kind of pots with a high side. Foods have a tendency to steam more than saute, but we're really not doing a lot of sauteing here, so I think it's fine. Hello, Patricia. Sydney says I would get you a stove, but I should buy myself one first. Would more garlic be bad? I don't think so. Haven't you always heard people talk about that you could smell somebody who eats a lot of garlic? Have you guys heard that before? I feel like I used to hear that like a long time ago, but now not so much. My experience is you could smell people who ate like a lot of powdered garlic, but not fresh. I don't know. Who knows what if I know what I'm talking about. All right. One thing this show has taught me is that I say all right a lot, like a lot. Okay, so when I cook this with raw sweet potatoes, it requires a whole cup of water. Since I'm using frozen, I'm not going to use a whole cup. I'm going to start with about half a cup. You kind of want this curry to be thick. I mean, most of us have had curry. We kind of know what the texture should be like. So I'm going to put in about half. You can always add more, but if you add too much, just let it cook for a little bit and some of those liquids will cook out. I love Matthew McConaughey, whatever his name is. All right, all right, all right. Okay, I had to do it right. Had to. All right, I said it again. Since my sweet potatoes are already cooked, I've got 1.5 cups of chickpeas. These are already cooked. I cooked these from dried. I'm just gonna throw that in. And I've got some coconut milk that I'm going to put in. I didn't realize when I bought this that this says light. I would prefer the full fat one, but it says light. That's what I have. That's what we're going to use. And if you guys were concerned with the fat in the coconut milk, you guys could just use like a plant milk. I would probably reduce it to about 3/4 of a cup though, because it's going to be less thick than this. Yeah, so it's a little watery, but as it cooks, it should thicken. So we'll just let that cook for a couple minutes. So I like to sneak greens in as much as possible. A lot of us have trouble getting greens down, so any place that I can just add a cup of greens or something, I do. Especially if you're plant-based, vitamin K, or if you're vegan, vitamin K can be hard to come by, so you got to eat your greens, people. So I've got some kale. This is actually dinosaur kale. Comes with the little bug holes and all. So I'm just gonna destock this. Is that the right word? What word do we use for removing from stock? How do you cook the dry chickpeas? I almost always cook my beans from dried. Okay, I washed this, and I don't mean to be gross, but do you see that there's like a little worm there? This is an organic kale. So he's just probably been living in my fridge, whatever. That's crazy. And now I have to look through all this to make sure it looks okay. It is kind of gross, you guys, but the truth is, there's bugs on all of our produce. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. I think I was talking about something before I got, the dried chickpeas. Okay. So I like to take my chickpeas, I like to soak them for a period of time. It really just depends how much time I have, but I always try to soak them for at least half an hour. And then I always rinse them. I rinse them before I cook them. I rinse them after I soak them. So I rinse them. I give them fresh water. I cook them on a low simmer for an hour covered. And then I let them sit on the heat, with the stove off for another hour, and that cooks them. I don't have an Instapot right now, so that's just like the best way for me to do it. This is looking really good, guys. This is actually pretty much cooked almost. So I like to throw the greens in towards the end. They'll wilt just in a couple of minutes being on the heat. And, you're really not going to get that much on your plate, but it'll give you a little of that vitamin K, which we all need. Although I do believe that greens do interfere with some medications. So if you're on medications, check with your doctor. And I'm just going to throw in some tomatoes. I've got about half a package of just great tomatoes here. You could use any tomatoes you like, or no tomatoes, or more tomatoes. It's going to be done so fast. It's going to be my fastest show ever. I bet you have some nifty gadget for cutting a bunch of tomatoes, little tiny tomatoes, don't you, Sydney? How did I get the kale so dry? So, when I get my produce home, I usually clean it right away, and then I let it drain, and then I put it in. For my leafy greens and my herbs, I like to put it in a wet paper towel and in a plastic bag, and that seems to keep for the longest. I've tried a lot of different methods over the years. There's different methods that people swear by. This is the only thing that's really worked for me. You need my special tomato cutter. Yep. All right, tomatoes are in. Those are just going to cook for a minute. You guys, we're just almost done here. So if I could go back, I would probably add a little bit less water to this. Either that, or I would cook this a little bit longer, because I do like my curry thick. It is still thick. It's just not as thick as I would like. Can you guys see that? And if you guys are enjoying this content, please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you interact with my channel, it really helps the channel be shown to new viewers, whether you like, subscribe. When you put a comment, not in the chat, but when you put a comment on any of my regular videos, that's really helpful. You can also share this video, and that helps as well. So the last part of this dish is we're just going to throw some cilantro on. We've been on for 23 minutes. So I'm going to do about a cup of cilantro. Again, you could leave this out. I know some people do not really care for cilantro. I'm not really sure what you'd put in its place if you don't like cilantro. Maybe you could try some parsley. I don't know. I'd be careful. Parsley can be super flavorful. Cilantro is flavorful too, but it does go with a dish. So I am dressed for fall. What do you guys think? Is everybody ready for fall, or is it just me? I'm coming out with some new fall recipes soon. I'm doing a pasta in a pumpkin sauce, which is like blow your face off amazing. It is so freaking good. And I know, like, thinking of a pumpkin sauce with pasta may sound like, I don't know if I like that, but it is like really, really good. I am working on a sweet potato gnocchi recipe. I'm just ready for fall. I just really, really am. The older I get, the less I like the heat. I'm just like so over it. I think I need to like move up north and just live in a cold climate all the time. Sydney says they're already planning their Halloween decorations. Jeff says great colors. Papa says basil. I don't know if basil would be good. I probably wouldn't try it. It's just so flavorful. Bun says it looks amazing. Does the water amount make a difference? It certainly does, and it always does. And not only does the water make a difference, but the water in your air makes a difference, especially if you're making things with bread or pasta. Jeff says, pumpkin, some fun shows coming up. Nope, we're still in 90-degree days. Dude, I'm so over that. No more 90-degree days. It's ice cubes in this house. Heck yeah. Heck yes, it is. I try to be good and turn the air up a little bit for you guys. I'm going to throw this in because we're going to eat. This does look like a lot of cilantro, but it works. You guys can't see that. All right, I just want to mix this in and give this a little taste to make sure my seasonings are right. This is also like the first year I think I haven't been in the sun all summer. I didn't go to a swimming pool. I didn't sit out. I'm just so much more careful about my skin these days. I wish I would have had this attitude when I was younger, but I didn't. Oh well. Let me taste this. Speaking of pumpkins, could you sub pumpkin from sweet potatoes? Yeah, I think pumpkin would probably work great in this dish. Never enough cilantro for me. Whoa. So good. Wow. Wow, so good. I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some rice. All right, I just have a small amount of rice there. This is cooked, so I'm going to go ahead and turn this off. Doesn't that look good? Yummy. Patricia says, we love chickpea curry, but I've never had it with sweet potatoes. Next time for sure, we buy our spices from India. Man, I need that link. I would love to see where you get your spices. I make my own curry, but my other spices, honestly, I buy it from a variety of places. Still look good, Lala. Jeff says, whoa, looks so good. Okay, do I have a taster? Let's eat. I'm starving. Did I eat off of one of these? This one. Okay. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Are you hungry?
Yes.
Do you want some of this?
Oh, yeah.
Does it look good?
Oh, that looks beautiful.
It's delicious. It's so freaking good. It's very hot. It's always hot. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you may take that. This is
so good.
I'm like waiting for this bite to cool down a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ah. Very, very hot. That's so good. It really has a complex flavor. From the garlic to the cilantro to the turmeric. I think I just spit. And all the other ingredients. It's really, really good. I hope you guys will go out and buy these ingredients. It's very easy to make. We've been on 29 minutes and I spent most of that time talking. So you could literally go make this tonight. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed till the end, you're a beautiful gem and I love you. Next week, I will have a recorded show on Thursday, but it will still come out at 6 p.m. Eastern. And the following week, I'll be live again. Have a great week, friends. Bye.